Alright, everybody, I am here with HOBT0R and their commentator here, and I will let HOBT0R go ahead and introduce Soul and get their run underway.
Hey, thank you. Yes, I am HOBT0R, he, him. We're playing Kirby Squeak Squad today for the Nintendo DS, and with me is Soul.
Yes, hi, hello. I am the person that effectively broke HOBT0R into this, but not entirely through my own means. I've run this game a fair bit, though.
Yes. I am a fake runner of this game. Soul is the real runner. I learned this game...
Sure, you're a real runner regardless.
Thank you. Why don't we get started here, and then we can kind of go into the history of the game, the run, and how I got started playing this game. So if we're ready, Soul, you wanna give us a countdown?
Yeah, sure. All right, in that case, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, so Kirby Squeak Squad for the Nintendo DS. This game, I think came out in 2006. It's kind of, I don't know, it was not a game that I remember, but it is a fun game for sure, and it does take advantage of the Nintendo DS dual screen here, so we'll see shortly that we can...
Yeah, you might just saw right there, one the bottom screen kind of flashed, also just a little essence that came in. Yeah, so the bottom screen is effectively just Kirby's stomach. It's effectively just an inventory. You can hold the 5 things in it. Oftentimes it's going to be stuff like abilities, sometimes food, or more importantly, treasures that need to be collectible. However, for any percent, we don't need most of those, so we don't really care about the treasure chests. Yep. Most of the time.
Yep. Yeah, so I started playing this game because of a different marathon, Speed Remiser, that is a marathon where the game you submit is not the game you play. So Soul actually submitted this game, and I ended up having to learn the game. And this happened at the same time as Speed Dock Superstar. So, for Speed Dockathon folks here who participated in that, one of the events in that was learn a new speed game. Oh,
well, that worked out even better.
Yep. So, at the same time I was learning this for Speed Remiser, Superstars was happening, so kind of got to double dip there. And one of the conditions of learning the game for I did it again.
It's fine. It should be the backup one you found earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Sorry. We're doing a little bit of a setup where I need a specific number of inventory items in my stomach. You'll see in a second.
Yeah, at the end of the stage, there's this cutscene that plays when you grab the big chest, but it only applies if you don't have a full inventory. So if we have a full inventory like we do right now, that cutscene doesn't get to play because Kirby cannot get the chest. It's very important. It's actually a very long it's a pretty long cutscene. It's like a good, like, 10-15 seconds.
Yeah. It's I calculated that it saves about 12 seconds.
Yeah, unfortunately, it also means, in terms of the story, we've just fervored just straight away from anything resembling it. Because this would also be the cutscene that introduces the sweeps. You'll see them kind of like show up, and then it's like, well, what the heck's this? What the heck's this? And then you get like a cutscene later that'll like fervor show them. That one will still happen. We do skip that one.
Yeah, so, what I was saying was for, the Speed Docs, Superstar event, one of the, kind of like, bonuses for participating was the game that you learn for that event would get into Speed Docathons if you wanted to, just submit it. And so I submitted it to this. So this is the second time I've run this game in a marathon. And yes, I am still very much learning this game. So, like, don't expect this to be...
Yeah,
like...
there is a pretty high skill ceiling for this one. Really for a lot of the series, but this one especially, because you got the touchscreen and trying to like manage that as you're moving around, trying to keep yourself safe when the times where you do need to actually mess with it. There's lots of stuff with the abilities, movement with them. Like for example, some of you'll probably see a little bit later. Wheel movement in this game is absolutely wild. And honestly, probably has an even bigger skill ceiling.
Yeah. Once you have wheel, the game gets fast. Yeah, now, I am playing this on an emulator. I do own the game, but it's just basically impossible to stream from a Nintendo DS. So... Ooh, I was not in the right position there. That's okay. We can recover.
Yeah, I guess I should explain the story a little bit. So, the very short version is, Kirby was gonna have some cake, something swiped it, we don't know what, and decided to, and Kirby's like, okay, this is weird, I'm gonna go after, I feel like DDD's pulling a prank, I'm gonna go after him and just see what's up. So he beats up DDD, he didn't steal the cage. Had nothing to do with anything that happened. The Sweets show up then, they start trying to wreak havoc, as they do, and DDD throws Kirby like a bowling ball at them. Gets a strike.
Yeah, so what I was doing during that boss was I was mixing the items in my stomach. And you can do that to get any other item. There are ways to do it more consistently. I am not a good enough player yet to do those, so it's just dumb luck if I get the item I want.
If we're talking stuff like business for real, it's just a 1 in 6 chance. It's random.
Yeah. So I got wheel. And this is the first glowing chest. We need to collect all the glowing chests.
Yeah, the only chests we actually need are those, which contain a thing called a star. I think it's called a star seal. You need each of those from this world until world 6, which so you can unlock world 7. Because without them you can't progress, and we need the boss chest because we can't finish the stage without them.
Yes. Yep. You do get chests for each boss. That's true. Yes.
Yeah, anything else is largely irrelevant to our needs. In fact, it's actually slower because Kirby does like a longer dance when he has a chest.
Yes. Yeah. It's actually like quite a few seconds longer.
Yeah, so ideally the only times we're doing it is for the chest that we absolutely must get our hands on, and no overtime. Although depending on like the type of run you're doing, that may or may not differ. For example, if you're doing like say like a challenge run that might want an ability scroll, one of the things you can get, these power up your abilities in different ways. That could be very useful. If you're doing like 100%, obviously you're getting every chest because it's 100%. Oh, dude, that one didn't despawn. That one likes to despawn a lot.
Yeah, and I'm actually trying not to get items during those bonus sequences if I don't need them, because that also adds a little bit of time, but it's not much time.
Yeah, like that works. It's a few seconds. It's just less than ideal if it happens.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's a second. It's probably like half a second.
Oh, we're talking the dance is like to do it extra like
the
2
dance
seconds.
takes a while, but like picking up the items at the end.
Oh, that's whatever. In fact, honestly, that one's more encouraged because sometimes you just need the health.
Oh yeah. If I am at full health, I avoid them. If I have taken any hits, then I want them. Okay, so now this is the first mini boss.
So this is Dow. He's very mean. He likes to sit in the wall like that. Luckily we can just kind of keep turning him back and forth a wheel, get him that way, and that is mildly unfortunate.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate. Oh, there we go. It wasn't too bad, but yeah, it was a little slow.
I will bring up if you feel like you're going to hit. Do remember you can also crouch to avoid losing your ability from the damage you take.
Yeah, I try to do that as much as I can, but it's a
honestly, it's
window.
Yeah, but honestly, sometimes the reaction time doesn't work out. Plus, this is the only Kirby game where you get to do that, so we love weird quirks with games.
Yeah. Lots of weird quirks with this one. I would say that the inputs also lag a little. And you just kind of have to get used to it.
It's one of our shorter stages where Kirby just wheels through rocks. Don't think about it.
Yeah, you are basically invulnerable while in wheel,
unless you're
when you're turning.
Yeah, when you're turning and when you're revving it up when you like start it.
Yeah. So like you can tear through mini bosses pretty fast with wheel, but because you're vulnerable while you're turning, when they're stuck in a corner, you have to turn in that corner, and then you're going to take damage. So that's why it's annoying when mini boss is hugging a wall.
Yeah, because it's very, because either it's really difficult to get the turn like you need, or you're gonna have to like kind of crouch and wait for them to do something and damage boost through them and then attack.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or you get ones like this one. I still don't remember the save's name. I just call it the metal potato. A lot of us in the community do. And sometimes it just decides, I'm just gonna do walkies and nothing else, and that's it.
Yeah.
Other times it like rolls almost immediately, and you're gonna have to start doing like fancy tricks with wheel to make sure you don't get hit in the process of attacking.
Now, this one, you can do with wheel, but these jumps are too tight. I do not make them ever, so, I just, do that normally, I guess. I'll use fire. Fire, I know how to do this boss with. Not ideal.
No, but it works. So this is Mrs. Moley. For anyone who might have played Sweet Sword, you might remember a boss from that one called Moley. I don't fully know if there's a relation between the two. I feel like there is, and I don't really. But I know a lot about the lore. I don't know that much about the lore. Also,
Yeah.
there's not really any lore between the two, so... Shrug.
Yeah, so for the most part, we're going to be wheel as much as possible, but for bosses, we wheel.
Bosses,
doesn't
it kind
really-
of varies a little bit depending on the fight. The ideal situation, and this is one of the reasons Hob has a electric question mark bubble, is those can give you actually anything, including invincible candy, which absolutely shreds bosses. And you can also also the fact you can carry it with you, which is again a thing only this game does. So like the ideal situation is like this boss onward, you're just using candy. Realistically, it's only if you manage to actually get it. The bubble mix is not the easiest thing to land. It's a lot like regular mixing in that regard. So you just kind of hope you time it right that you get in. If not, we do have backup strats that are honestly about as effective.
Yeah, that last bit of 3-1, with the thing that drops down on you, that one gets me so many times.
Oh yeah, Foley is bad about that sometimes.
So anytime that I don't get hit there, I'm happy. And I did not get hit there, so I am happy. Yeah.
Well, we'll see how long that lasts with the next mini boss. Say hello to Botsy. Botsy is mean. That's it. That's the description. Botsy is mean.
There is a way to hit enemies when they're in these corners without getting a hit, or without being hit while you're in wheel, and you have to like jump up.
Yeah, you like jump up, bonk into the wall as you're doing it, and then go back into it as you're falling. It's not the hardest thing to do, but it is a little bit tricky, especially if you're not too used to actually doing it.
Yeah, and it's not very fast either. I mean, it's faster than not hitting them, but...
Oh yeah, maybe I should bring up, those characters do have names. There's one you haven't seen yet, but the bid, for reference, the bid one is Soro. That one that Hob just dealt with, that one is named Dot. He's basically like their inventor. Has like a lot of contractions. If you, in fact, you fight him twice, just he has like mechanized, things that he sends after you. Smaller one that we kind of also glossed over, that one is Spinny, and then finally there is the Roach, the leader, but he hasn't shown up yet, because, well, the cutscene that would have shown him didn't happen because we had full inventory, and the other one we skipped, so you'll see him eventually. Until then, don't worry about it. That was a weird bond. That is the we're just gonna say that was the game's fault, honestly. Sometimes Sweet Spot is just silly like that.
I think I always bonk there.
Yeah, I think it might be like the platform is just weird.
Yeah.
I know I've bonked there, and it's like, I know I've done nothing wrong. I think the game has just decided it's doing a thing. But while we're kind of like going through this, if our host has any like messages about, like, say, the marathon itself or incentives that we're doing, or really anything at all, this would be a decent time for them.
Yeah, so we met all of the, like, add this sort of run or upgrade this sort of run incentives that we have left for the duration of the marathon, but we still have some polls, like what drink you want to go with the Speed Docs Burger, which color Power Ranger for the run following this one, what hat Turnip Boy is gonna wear.
Turnip Boy has a lot of hats, if I remember that name.
Yeah, and, you know, every little bit's going to a great cause. We're raising money for Save the Children, so $3 is the minimum donation, but even $3 matters, so...
thank you for the update.
Yeah, yeah.
What color would Soul? You've played Turnip Boy.
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, okay.
I've seen like a speed run of it once, and I do remember like I had incentive for that one when it happened.
Yeah, I have not played it, so you know, what are our options for hats?
Well, so it looks like rather than it being specifically choosing the hat, we're bidding on whether the host picks the hat, the runner
Oh.
picks the hat, or chat picks the hat.
Oh, I think we
I feel like
yeah.
I feel like we need full chaos here. We need a chat to do it.
I think so, but you know, a $3 donation takes that poll currently because nobody's put anything in just yet.
Alternately, if it comes to it, there is also the option of everyone decides.
That's true. That's very true.
That's full chaos right there. So this is one of the stages where I think high jump is actually faster than wheel.
There is a little bit of tech with wheel. It takes a little bit of time to kind of get the hang of it. But if you go into wheel as you're jumping, at the right time, and Kirby actually like goes really high for some reason. It's a weird thing. It's not the only ability that does it. Others have like this trait in some capacity. Wheel is just probably the most infamous one. It's honestly Tornado kind of. Tornado can be kind of weird if you're not careful and you're trying not to do it.
Yeah, Tornado is a challenge sometimes.
But yeah, so we're kind of fighting Fracto, except we're kind of not. So this is actually Mecha Fracto. It's actually an invention from Dodge. He like found a way to recreate Fracto, and he's now trying to pilot it to fight you.
Yeah, but that was just phase 1 there.
Yeah, it's also a 2-phase fight where the second phase it does this and makes it way more precarious.
This one is a very scary fight. It's not hard, but if you screw it up,
it's very easy to it's very easy to lose Tornado when that happens, or you get electrified, and if that happens, you are probably going to the pit.
Yeah, so I did that. Oh, I needed to mix. There we go. Because you need to pick up the chest, and if your inventory's full, you can't pick up the chest. Yeah, this
is the game where Kirby does that. We're still not sure why that happened. Not sure why. Actually, no, I do know why, and it's called miscommunication, or rather, lack of communication almost at all. You'll see later. I will keep y'all updated on the story. There's not that much story. Honestly, this game can be kind of also summed up as an episode of the Kirby anime, but in a game. Well, for anyone who might know the anime, like for example, you know, DDD's castle in the background from level 1, that is actually the anime interpretation, and it's not the only time it shows up. It shows up in Mass Attack also for some reason. like one of the worlds is just you go through like a resort, and for some reason DDD has like a picture of his castle in there, and it's also the anime version. To be fair, that would make a lot of anime references, so I'm not that surprised.
You know, I didn't even realize there was an anime. It doesn't
surprise me. It came out around the time of the GBA games. It's part of why like the logo rebranded it to match what the anime had at the time. The commercial for Nightmare in Dreamland, the Adventure remake, had like a very interesting commercial that was also done to kind of tie into the anime. For some reason, they did like their own version of like Secret Agent Man, but with Kirby. It was kind of it was a time.
Interesting. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't recall there being GBA video torts with the episodes, but I don't remember that much about GBA video. I never had any of them myself, so it's a very good chance I don't remember.
I didn't also know that GBA video existed until I think it was this last Summer Games Done Quick. I attended, and some folks had Shrek on.
Yeah, Shrek's probably like the real like big one most people bring up.
Yeah.
Or if it's not like Shrek by itself, it's like the Shrek and oh jeez, I forget the other movie, but it was like the 2-in-1, and it's certainly a time. It's certainly a thing. It exists.
Yeah. So I actually intentionally kept high jump there, because I think it is faster for that last bit for me. Getting that.
Yeah, high jump is also surprisingly good for movement in this game. For whatever reason, they decided Kirby needs a lot of horizontal movement with high jump. I'm not sure why, but I'm okay with it. I think it's good. I think it's neat. To me, this is probably the best high jump ever was. But it has shown up since then. It was also in Return to Dreamland and Dream Collection. Well, not Dream Collection, just Return to Dreamland and 3-Mage. But unfortunately, it doesn't move as fast in that one. It still sees use. Like even in Brian's, like you will see like a couple spots for it, especially if you're doing like 100% for that game. But it doesn't move like this does. It doesn't have the movement.
Lower path. No. Got the chest.
Yeah, there's no way to avoid it once that happens. Yeah, sort of like the GBA video. I actually remember seeing those in stores. I never bothered with any of them because it was all stuff I didn't really, honestly, really wasn't interested in. Because like a lot of what was on there was kind of like Nickelodeon shows and stuff, which I didn't really watch, or like the Pokemon anime, which by that point I wasn't watching it either. And the movies were all stuff I just didn't really want. So, yeah.
I remembered the question mark that time.
I forget there's a question mark bubble there, actually. Because it's not what I usually go for. May have to keep that in mind if I ever, like, need to try, like, get a backup. That's actually good to know.
Yeah, it's useful. It's definitely part of my route, but I also
honestly, it's not that out of the way either. It's just one I never think about because most of the time I'm just kind of more worried about just wheeling through the stages.
There we go.
Also, I like how I've had like this little jazz compilation in the background, and it's just and now I'm hearing like Halberd music as you do it into the stage.
Oh yeah. Because you're watching this through Discord, and the audio's not coming through on your end.
Never released but intended. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, honestly, I would have been surprised if they hadn't thought about it at least. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, they never ended up releasing one. To be fair, I don't think the anime in the US was terribly popular, so that might be part of it.
Okay, and we're gonna switch off of wheel here. Oh. Dang it.
That's fine. You got beam as a backup.
Yeah, I did.
So, for what it's worth, beam is not that bad here. Like it does okay damage. It has like little sparks that go along the floor since elemental effects are a thing in this game, and because everything's like metal, it actually like conducts electricity, so it'll all just kind of like cycle through.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this stage doesn't have a whole lot. It's mostly meant to like a little like race to the bottom to try to get the chest in time. We're not worried about the chest. We're worried about just getting through here.
Yep. Wish I had a little bit more health. Since this is
as long as you're careful, the boss shouldn't be too bad. Especially with since I'd imagine you're going to be using tornado like last time.
Yep.
So speaking of dodges inventing making things and sending mechs after you, here's a giant mecha snail, Yadodane. We don't know anything else about it. It's just, yep, Dodge has a snail mech.
This reminds me of
Ooh, that's not great. You should be fine though.
We're okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
This boss reminds me of Sandopolis in Sonic 3.
Ooh, I had time to see it. I had time to see it. I can't say I've remember too much about Sonic 3 because it's been a long time since I played Sonic 3, but...
This is one where high jump probably
high jump wouldn't be... Tornado would also kind of be alright here.
Yeah.
Just kind of do like the little jump height trick.
Yeah, I'm playing a little safe because I have...
Yeah, you're at basically 1 health.
Yeah.
You're low enough if you take the hit here, the game will probably take you out.
Yep. Now, those cycles are not too bad actually, as long as you remember where you need to pause. I took that extra tornado because I thought I was gonna get hit.
To be fair, I would have done similar. I would have absolutely panicked tornadoed.
Doesn't get health, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I don't want to use the wheel because I think I'm going to...
Yeah, honestly, that is very understandable right now. There is some health coming up though, so you should be fine once you get to it. Don't do that. That would be the that would not be the thing you need to do there. But you can do it as a choice, but I don't recommend it.
I mean, I am wondering.
I don't think Kirby can drink lava.
There we go. Not quite enough. Right there. Okay. Now we'll wheel.
Yeah, now we're like actually very safe here.
Yeah.
And honestly, the rest of the stage is very simple. Like you just use wheel, you're done. Use wheel again, in the stage.
Yeah, like wheel is fast, but
wheel is also just very good in general.
Yeah. You want to be wheel. But you don't
until you
immediately.
don't, because then you have this stage where the best strat for this is you take sword, and sword just kind of like chews through all of these. The sword, for some reason, also does a lot of damage in this game. But only if you like kind of time the attacks where you don't do the full combo. You do like the first hit. But
yeah.
Failing that wheel is still more than good enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I think in most of my runs I do die in this level. We'll try not to.
It does help a lot when if Dao is on the wall.
Ooh, nice. He was pretty nice that time.
Yeah, most of them aren't too bad. Dowdow's like the one legitimately bad one at times. Oh, there's the wall attack.
Ooh, the falling rock got me.
But yeah, as Hobbits continue with this mini boss and the next one, I'll be right after it. If there's any messages, this would still be a good time for those.
Yes.
Well, so I don't have any new messages in
all good.
terms of donations or anything like that, but there's definitely still time. HOBT0R, perhaps when you're between things just a little bit, can you ramp up your mic just a notch for us?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you have to understand. Unfortunately, Mike Kirby is not in this game, so we kind of had to make do.
Let me know how that is.
And of course, it's the fast one, so... I was like, okay, there's a tomato, that'll work out. Then
Just
like...
a notch more if you could.
Yes, 1 second.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I'll take tornado. Because now we're at a similar situation where I don't want to use my spare wheel if I'm gonna die immediately. There we go.
I was about to say there is health at the end of the room, so I think you might be alright.
Oh, yeah, but also we're at the end of this world, so it probably...
That's fair.
That looks really scary, but it's not. That one's actually super easy to get through.
Yeah, and it's also like an even safer way where you go like right underneath them, hit them with like an air puff, and then they completely do nothing. Ooh, did slip through the cute. Ooh, did back up from that one because that fully would have definitely exploded.
Yep. Tornado's really good for moving downwards. Not great for moving up.
Yeah, that's kind of meant to be like the fast path, or so you can get to the chest before Doc gets away with it. But it's fine. You know what? Doc can have a chest as a treat. He's been working hard. He tried to fight Kirby and didn't have the best time of it. He certainly tried though.
Okay, how's that for the mic?
Also, don't forget you can go back into 5-4 for
Much better, thank you.
Yeah, don't forget you can also go into 5-4 for next for candy. In fact, I would probably recommend it.
Yeah.
So that way you have enough for like the rest of the run.
Yes.
Yeah, from this point onward, we have like a consistent candy source, so we just use candy.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my cursor to where it needs. I missed it.
That's fine. There we go.
There we go. Excellent.
Yeah, so Bobo is a very mean boss and very hard to actually fight. But because, again, we have like a consistent source of candy from this point onward. We can just do that, fight bosses that way, and not really have to worry about anything in that front for basically the remainder of the run now. Like, we'll grab this candy here. There's another one we can get in 6-1, near the end of the stage that also factors in. Pretty much every boss from this point, once we get there, what we're going to want to do is just wait for like a certain setup, pop the candy, and then ideally we take them out into one candy. And if not, we can usually like fight a little bit with Wheel to finish them off or whatever we might need in them otherwise. This means that there is in fact a boss that we get to, ooh, jeez.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay. We're fine. We can use fire.
Yeah, but I would just use fire then. Also, another of those little elemental properties at play, because now we have fire just melting the snow and then getting rid of the ice physics, which are very nice. So unfortunately, Dow is very mean today.
Okay, we got through it.
We got through the room at least, so worst case if we do die, we just start here. We did Tornado if we need it. So like, we're actually kind of okay if like anything bad happens.
Yes.
Honestly, probably the hardest part of like moments like this, especially because it's very understandably very tense. Like you're like 1 health. Any little mistake you make will see, like that.
Yeah. We'll do high jump, I think.
And it's very easy to have just nerfs just completely take over. I was about to say, I think you're invincible through the spikes too.
Yep.
But if you drop down here, there's also a candy.
Oh, there's a candy down there. I did not realize that.
Yeah, it's at the bottom. Like if you move like 2 blocks, they'll break as you walk through them. And like right below Kirby from that point is a candy.
Yeah, so I think that was our first death this run. So that's actually not too bad. World 6 is where I would say my runs typically start
Level 6
apart.
is hard. Level 6 is kind of one of the harder ones. Like, especially this stage, interestingly enough, like it opens with like spikes all along the bottom for the most part. It's very easy to kind of end up in them sometimes, especially if you're trying to especially with like wheel movement sometimes. Just if you're off kilter, you're just kind of like slightly mess up. Or alternately, you're actually doing it on purpose, because Wheel's invincible. You can, as long as you don't turn, you're not gonna take a hit. But you do have to make sure you're out of it by the time you're gonna come out of it.
Oop. Yeah, that's the danger there with fire. Okay, I think I can get it from there. Yes. Okay, that's much safer. Yeah, for this last section, high jump's not going to be the best one, so I wanted to switch to fire.
Yeah, like fire wheel is usually way better for this one, because this is also our last flowing chest.
And if you don't get it quickly, it wastes about a minute, a solid minute.
Yeah, because you end up having to like fight Spinny.
Nope.
Oh!
He knocked me in.
Yeah, and that's almost worse, because now you have to like do the whole stage over.
Yeah, I do have to do the entire stage over.
Upside, we did see like base movement, which is actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's not actually that much slower.
Like it is noticeably slower, but it could definitely be worse.
Okay, now we have fire
Also,
again.
another thing that helps is you don't necessarily have to hit all of those fire things. Okay, that was weird.
Okay. There we go.
Alright, you got it this time. I believe.
There we go. Take that.
Yeah, that's a
one
little
up.
bit closer to how it hopefully looks.
Yeah.
Like, best case you did there before Spinny does, and you get the chest and leave. Worst case, Spinny gets the chest, but you can get him before he goes through the door. Worst case, he gets through the door, you have to fight him, and that's when it's like that. It's definitely slower, but it's probably close to like maybe 30 seconds, depending on like how fast the fight goes.
Yeah, and don't worry for the estimate. My estimate assumed that would happen. So, we're actually still ahead of estimate.
That's always like the worst case scenario, is just having to replay the stage. I've done it once, and I hated it.
I had to replay
So
that stage yesterday and still managed to get a PB. So
yeah, in my case, like that took like a minute, and there was no way I was PBing after that, but that happens. But no, I think in my case, I did like a miss input and ended up going into the door when I didn't want to.
yeah, I mean that's what happened there. I got knocked back and didn't realize I was over the door. And then, you know, wasn't careful with my input. Okay. So, let's see here. I can do fire. The kind of the complicated thing about this run is, like, once things go kind of off course...
It's hard
the
to write
backups-
yourself.
Yeah, the backups are complicated.
Yeah, you're seeing like the little burning dash. Hob is having to actually do like a double tap and then the thing every time he wants to do it. And it's very weird. We don't know why they did it for this game. And again, one of those kind of like unusual decisions.
Yeah, it's that the game wants you to be running in order to do the
Yeah, so for whatever reason, like it completely eats your dash save once you do it. So you have to like redo the input. It's very weird.
Okay. We should be fine now. Okay, there we go. I was actually trying to clear the ice, because the ice just makes that so hard.
Yeah, like for example, something I didn't mention about Wheel. Wheel actually does adhere to the ice fist, so you'll actually turn slower on the ground if you try to like turn with it.
Yeah, I'm thinking, do I want high jump? I don't think I want high jump.
Actually,
I
high
want
jump here
fire.
wouldn't be too bad.
Okay, let's do high jump.
Yeah, you just like go through the icicles and whatnot. And this room, yeah, you're like doing like the exact movement you would do for high jump, actually. Like either doing like little puffs to kind of keep yourself in the air, or just hitting B again like after it ends.
The tricky part with high jump is at the end there. You don't want to grab that chest. It's very easy to grab that chest.
Yeah, certain chests if you grab them will actually attract the sweets, and there'll be like a little small like 2-second thing that'll happen. By the way, this is the hardest stage in the run.
Yeah, that's definitely not a lie.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very technical. Like we actually need to be able to get that chest for like a skip.
Ooh, nice.
And now we need Sora to kind of cooperate. Dirty's kind of walking away. Dirty went. Not sure how he fit through that, but he certainly did. Okay. Now for the most technical part at all, where we just have to kind of run in place, stand there. Okay, yeah, honestly, yeah, if you can't tell, this is the easiest stage in the game. We literally do nothing. We let them get the chest and leave. They can have them. We don't care. They're not important.
You know, honestly, it is a little complicated for me because I'm trying to do all of my mixing.
I mean, to be fair, so that's usually a stage where I'm doing it also. Oh, you just went right for it. You just went for it. I usually wait for him to do like the ice beam. Yeah, but now he's being really mean. Luckily, high jump is surprisingly good at doing a bunch of damage.
Yes. That boss is not that hard.
Yeah, by the way,
even
that's the
candy.
roach. By the way, that's the roach. And now we can finally catch y'all up on the story again. So short version, we're almost in the chest. That chest actually doesn't have her cape. But more importantly, Meta Knight swoops in and takes it. Doesn't communicate why. Just like, no, don't open it. And takes it. Leaves. Conveniently, this is actually... He also goes through past this door that needs the star seals. This is why you wouldn't be able to progress without them.
You know, I've never actually watched that cutscene.
Honestly, you should watch them at some point.
I should know what the lore of this game is. I understand there's a cake, and maybe it's Portal. Maybe this game is actually Portal.
No, we did the cake at the end, so it's not a lie.
Oh, okay. We do get the cake. Got it.
How do you get involved with the speedrun communities? Honestly, there's a lot of ways. It really depends on the game. Like for this one here, we actually have like a pretty good community on that you can find through like speedrun.com. I'll kind of give more on that later. But I will say we are a very good community. We'd be happy to have you.
All right, got a spare wheel.
And also, if you're trying to learn stuff, we do also have like a speedrun wiki. It's still work in progress. There's a good number of things that still aren't there yet. But our eventual goal is to have like anything you can find on like the Discord you can find there. But yeah, it depends on the community. But like, the easiest one is like look on speedrun.com. They may have a Discord server linked in like one of the pages, or like on most of the pages. Or alternately, I just like search for it. Sometimes you can find it that way.
Yeah, and I got involved with this, as I mentioned at the start, not because I'm a Kirby speedrunner, but because of another marathon event where called Speedremizer.
Yeah, so yeah, over time you can also just like end up with it that way, because yeah, for like so now Hob mentioned it. Short version, what you submit is not what you run. You're given you're rolled somebody else's submission, and then you have like 3 months to learn that game.
Yeah, full disclosure, Sol and I are helping organize the next Speedremizer event. So, I definitely recommend, checking it out. Submissions are closed, but volunteer applications are open.
Oh yeah, I see Kit just mentioned about throwing race of people playing it. Yeah, I try to do that too sometimes if it's relevant to what I'm doing, or I know the person because of that community, or they're like a friend at this point. That's also pretty common.
That wheel's gone.
That wheel is kind of not happening anymore.
We'll grab that. I do have a spare wheel. Do I want wheel? No, wheel's not
not right now. Cause like you don't really need it for this stage. The stage is a lot of Kirby needs to drop down.
Tornado might be helpful, actually, there. There aren't any swim abilities. That would be kind of interesting if there were.
The closest we ever got to it was water, and that mostly just empowered the water attack.
Hmm. Yeah, so, this is not going to be a personal best, but I think we're going to be well below estimate. Hopefully. We're through, I feel like the things that are the real hard parts of the game. There are the final boss is a little tricky. I think that's
you're honestly
true.
through like probably like the worst of it now, as far as like hard stuff.
Yeah, the final boss, I think in all Kirby games, is hard, and this game is no exception. But even if I die on the final boss, the checkpoints are kind of in good places.
Oh yeah, by the way, for anyone wondering, we're into Halberd now. We're like actually into Halberd. You remember like the Superstar where at the end of Revenge of Meta Knight, like the thing sinks into the ocean? Yeah, we're actually in that ocean right now.
Oh. I did not know that.
Yeah, probably the one like actually wild bit of lore from this game is like, no, this is actually the Halberd, and you're currently going through it again.
Ooh, I remember the maze.
You don't go through much of it, though. You don't go through much of it, though. So you do that, and then this stage, which this stage is also like one of those ooh, I would have just ate the wheelie instead of using the essence, but that's fine.
Yeah. Probably would have been a better move.
But funny enough, we don't actually want the chest. We don't actually want to do it successfully. We want to mess it up just a little bit. We want to go just a little too fast so we don't get it.
Yep. Because we don't want chests in this game.
You might want to do that mid, like, yeah. Just so you don't have to try to do it mid-fight or anything. So this is Meta Knight. We're going to win by doing absolutely nothing. That's it. That's the fight. By the way, the Halberd's actually functional again, so it is in fact going into space. But I'm also seeing, like, talking to chat about, like, going to, like, someone's channel that's running the game that you're doing. Honestly, that's also a good one. That's kind of, honestly, part of where I kind of started a little bit. Well, a little bit of it's that. That's how I got introduced to speedrunning at all. And then, as for Kirby itself, for me, I ended up joining the community around, because after, like, one of the GDQs, they had, like, a small, like, Speed Demos Archive would have this thing called Get Yourself Speedrunning, back when, SDA actually, like, did much. And one of them was for Nightmare in Dreamland for any percent. So I was like, okay, I want to try to learn that. Let me join a community and, you know, do that. That is not the category I ran. I instead ran like a category known as no copy abilities, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Okay, that
and
was a
I
little
did
scary, but I
yeah,
I
you
saved
made it through. You made it through. Yeah, that's where my start kind of ended up coming from, and then I also kind of watched others through that community and.
Oh, that's not the right run.
Do you think things have changed since then? And now you're good on candy for the remainder, because really need it for the next boss fight.
Yep. Yeah. So the final boss is actually 2 bosses, but we only need candy for the first phase.
Yeah. Speaking of, oof, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. That it ate my input. I'm gonna say.
But yeah, what I was gonna say, kind of catch up on the lore thing. Yeah, so we got the Meta Knight, we beat him. We're finally opening the chest, and before we get to do that, the roach comes back, swipes it again, and opens it instead of us, and finds out that oops, there was a seal. Oops, the final boss was inside that, and got possessed. So, Kirby gives chase because that's understandably a problem, TM. But he's also like, oh, am I never gonna get my chase back?
Honestly, I think high jump's better for this level.
High jump is very good for this stage.
Because that whole section there, you can't use wheel.
You can, but you'd have to kind of like jump on wheel before you land, or before you're about to land, and then do it again. Honestly, a lot of times I don't, which is close to what I end up doing. Other times I'll just do it kind of normally until near the end, where you just safely wheel.
Water
Also,
physics is weird.
Yeah, this one's a little bit unusual because Kirby takes a second to actually start like going up when you hold A. Also, shout out to Gold Waddle D. He has a chest that we don't need, so you can just run.
Wheel is useful here, I will say.
Yeah, wheel is very good here, because otherwise you kind of have to like slide through all the blocks.
Oh, but that was actually a gold split.
Let's go. And then finally our penultimate stage, where we're just gonna kind of go through this. We have like our final mini boss, which, surprise, it's Dow Dow, because of course it's Dow Dow. If you thought it was anyone else, I don't know what to tell you. Ooh, good time with it to avoid that.
Yeah. Is this gonna work?
I would actually make, you could do that, or if you want a safer option, you could just use Cutter since you can get it before the final boss.
Yeah, that's true.
But you kind of got this already, so. If you were like right under you, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, it would have been. That was still pretty fast.
For what it's worth, high jump from this point onward is actually like perfect for the rest of the stage.
Yes.
Because at this point you can just kind of like do this, just fly over everything, without really too much of a problem. Like you got this room here, which is a warp star. You get to do you'll just kind of ride that for a bit.
Yeah, the only thing is wheel is kind of useful for the last stage in between the mini bosses, or in between the bosses, for movement. But
yeah, like wheel is still the ideal, but high jump is like a really good backup for this one specifically. It's also really good during the final boss also, because between the two bosses, we actually have like a little mini, very mini stage of sorts, and high jump absolutely is like the way to go for it.
Get out of here. That's going to be a time loss.
Yeah, now dots on take a second to actually get it.
Yeah.
Now, ideally, our next boss here, which it's gonna be the Roach again, but now again he's possessed, so yay. Hopefully he plays nice.
This one I'm gonna do a little bit.
Overall, we do like a very similar setup for this. We wait for him to do like the big beam attack like that. And then we just kind of run straight into him with candy and hope we get him before he does. Oh, that's a really good pattern. So then he gets taken out. Yeah, there you go. We'll take our ability, put it in our mouth, because he actually drops kind of like the final boss ability of the game, the triple star. We don't need it at all, so we're not gonna use it.
It can be
It's not
useful.
bad. It's just that we have better options. We can ideally for this boss we're using Cutter. You heard that right. We're using Cutter. You know, something that doesn't get used in like most of our runs of this game, most of our like Kirby runs in general. Cutter surprisingly is just a lot of stuff in this game does a surprisingly high amount of damage, with like a few exceptions.
And we're probably like 2 minutes, 3 minutes from the end.
Yeah, time will be coming up when the screen fully fades to white after the final boss is defeated.
And this is the final boss.
Yeah, so this is Dark Nebula. We don't really know anything about it. It was in a chest. Doing very good on this fight so far.
Don't like the ice. Aha.
It keeps doing the ice beam. It just keeps doing the ice beam.
Okay, time is coming up.
Yeah,
It's almost faded.
Yeah, time's almost about to happen.
Time.
And time.
That was actually only 4 seconds off.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Well,
Yeah, like
GG.
yeah, like the game actually like outlines like what was going on, but the point is like at some point, Meta Knight should have just told you, and he didn't.
well, that's all we have for Kirby Squeak Squad.
Yeah, so
Soul, do you have any shoutouts?
mostly ones to Speed Reminder because it's a decent event. We are currently in our runners or learning games phase at the moment, so not much else to say about it right now. But
volunteer applications are open.
yeah, so if you do want to volunteer for it, there is stuff you can find if you look it up. If you look at Speed Reminder in general, we'll kind of leave it at that for now. And for that matter, also to the Kirby community itself. The community is very good. If you want to find us proper, you can go to speedrun.com/Kirby, and you can like pretty much every game on there has a link to like our main Discord for most of the games. There's a couple that have like their own servers because they have their own communities, but that's kind of like our big one. Like I said, we'd be happy to have you if you want to learn this or any other game.
Yeah.
Before I do, like, where to find me, Hob, do you have any shoutouts? Where can people find you for that matter?
Well, you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/HOBT0R, HOBT0R. I stream very irregularly. And also, I just want to say thank you, Soul, for teaching me this game.
Of course.
It's been a blast to learn. I think if anyone feels intimidated by this game, don't feel intimidated. This is actually a fun game. It's a quick one to learn.
Honestly, a lot of the Kirby games are relatively chill runs with a couple of exceptions, and mostly because like the higher level in those runs is just a lot more. Yeah. As for myself though, you can find me at twitch.tv/BeamQueenSoul. I do a lot. I do a lot of Kirby runs and other platformer stuff. So that's like a bulk of what I do. There is other things I do here and there as well, but yeah, I made a pink buff powder very quickly.
Well, thank you to Speed Docathons for having us here. It was a blast and an honor to open up the final day.
Yeah, you guys did great. Thank you both so very much. And we'll go ahead, we'll cut to an intermission, but we'll be back soon, okay?
Sounds good.